Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and a new Spider-Man Easter egg has been spotted in early looks at Morbius, a film that will apparently lean very heavily into crossovers with Spider-Man and Spider-Man characters. And one thing we noticed in that Morbius trailer is that the Spider-Man they used is an old version. No, not old virgin, because you know emo Peter Parker but the Sam Raimi era version of Spider-Man, which is odd because Morbius will also include a cameo of Adrian Toomes' Vulture from the MCU, Tom Holland's Spider-Man Homecoming. But with Marvel and Sony co-producing the MCU Spider-Man, they kind of have joint custody of these folks. Far From Home ended in a post-credit scene with J. Jonah Jameson, played by J.K. Simmons, who played the character in the Raimi films. Also, Far From Home included an Easter egg nod to Bonesaw McGraw, the wrestler played by Macho Man Randy Savage in the Raimi film. And as a character, Bonesaw McGraw was original and specific to the Raimi-verse. On top of all this, Marvel just hired Sam Raimi himself to take over directing duties for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness from Scott Derrickson. And as I've mentioned before, Raimi's a great fit as a guy known for successful Marvel films and the horror genre. But could there be a deeper agenda behind the return of Raimi? Some collusion between the MCU and the Sony Spider-Verse? I'm gonna break down this conspiracy and the latest Spider-Man cameo for what it could mean for the future of the Spider-Verse. Spoiler warning in case I'm right. Okay, so the latest clue was discovered in a set photo from Los Angeles. There was a bus redressed as a New York MTA bus and an ad reading, "Where is Spider-Man? Find out only in the Daily Bugle." Originally it was believed that this could be for Venom 2, but it was later confirmed to be part of the set for Morbius. So, like the street art of Spider-Man with the graffiti "Murderer" painted over it that we saw in the Morbius trailer, this could suggest a connection to the ending of Far From Home, in which Peter Parker was outed and falsely accused as a criminal. But also note that that Daily Bugle in this ad is the print newspaper version of the outlet that J. Jonah Jameson ran in the Raimi Spider-Man films. The version that Jameson runs in Far From Home is an InfoWars-style conspiracy news website. So what's going on here? Well, I see three theories that explain what this means. Theory 1, Morbius is setting up the third Tom Holland Spider-Man film to be a Peter Parker manhunt. Perhaps the folks at Sony are trying to keep their Morbius and Venom movies quasi-connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Makes sense. The promise of interconnectivity to Feige's friendly freak show has been a huge success for Sony. So, in addition to cameos by MCU villains like Vulture, we're also gonna get these background nods to a fugitive criminal Spider-Man to remind us of how Far From Home ended, all in order to make the hunt for Peter Parker the focus for the next Spider-Man film in summer 2021. And who best to lead that hunt? Well, who's the mystery man with Hunt in the name that everyone's dying to drag into the spotlight? That's right, Hunter Biden. Kraven the Hunter. Director John Watts mentioned Kraven the Hunter as his ideal villain for the next film, and I could definitely see media figure J. Jonah Jameson bankrolling an expert game hunter to capture this public menace. Maybe a plot similar to Kraven's Last Hunt. I explored this in another recent video, check it out. Perhaps the bus ad suggests that J. Jonah Jameson's fringe news site has grown in popularity into a legit subscription-based print operation. Then again, a website transitioning into a newspaper? As many 50-year-old Pulitzer winners who now have to fumble their way through podcast advertisement talking points will tell you, that is the opposite direction that the media industry is actually going. Ooh, speaking of which, thanks to our good friends at The Ridge for sponsoring this episode. The Ridge makes everyday goods to a standard you don't see every day. They streamline your life by turning the things you carry like backpacks, chargers, and wallets into tools for a better living. Their flagship product is the Ridge Wallet. It was launched on Kickstarter in 2013 and now sits in the front pockets of over 500,000 men and women. My wallet used to be full of like napkins covered in scrawled Spider-Man conspiracy theories. It wasn't healthy, but not anymore, guys. This is their aluminum wallet in a raw color. Now they do have other colors, including some very flashy tiki designs. Go check all those out. But all of them, they're light, they're strong. This one has this cool industrial chic vibe. The Ridge is a minimal front pocket wallet that's designed to streamline what you carry every day. It has 30,000 5-star reviews and is a better way to carry your cash and cards. There's a lifetime warranty if you love it, free returns if you don't. It comes in titanium, carbon fiber, aluminum, and over a dozen different styles and colors. They also have great backpacks and travel bags with RFID blocking pockets and optional device charging batteries. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/newrockstars. That's ridge.com/newrockstars and use the code newrockstars. Find the link in the video's description. Okay, to explain how this Daily Bugle newspaper ad could connect to Jameson's Daily Bugle website, onto theory number 2. Morbius is a prequel set before Spider-Man Homecoming, designed to establish how each of the members of the Sinister Six will be behind bars at the same time and have a meet cute. So let's think back to when Tony Stark first recruited Peter Parker in Captain America Civil War. Peter had already made a name for himself in the New York area with enough of a reputation to catch Tony Stark's eye. Perhaps during this time in early 2016, J. Jonah Jameson was running a print version of the Daily Bugle, running anti-superhero headlines, specifically targeting that reckless dumbass who keeps getting linked with bodega bombings. Coinciding with all these events could be Morbius. You remember him, Dr. Michael Morbius, giving himself vampiric powers in a hunka bod. And the way he gets to the vampire gym is by taking an anti-Spidey bus. Perhaps over the years, Jameson's readership declines, as has happened with, most print newspapers in America, until he hits a breaking point, the death of his son, John Jameson, Life Foundation astronaut, and the subsequent cover-up. This could inspire Jameson to launch a conspiracy news website to seek the truth, and the events of Morbius could leave that doctor in prison, where he meets also incarcerated Spidey villains like the Vulture, like Scorpion, like Carnage. And folks, we're only 2 roguey blocks shy of a Sinister Six pyramid. But this theory doesn't explain why these Spider-Man clues are specifically the Raimi-era Spider-Man ones. Our final theory does. Theory number 3. Morbius is set in an alternate universe in the vast Spideyverse. Perhaps the reason Raimi was hired to direct Multiverse of Madness is because Marvel wanted his oversight as they attempt to establish a live-action multiverse that can bridge over to Sony's Spider-Verse in the future and retcon all past Spider-Man films, like the Andrew Garfield era, and Sam Raimi's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man as just alternate realities within this shared multiverse. Like maybe Morbius exists in a reality in which Spider-Man is not Tom Holland, but Tobey Maguire. However, history still plays out similarly, with Spider-Man a hated figure as he often is in the comics, and perhaps in this Raimi-verse, Vulture is still played by Michael Keaton, but he doesn't have that mixed gratitude toward Peter that he felt at the end of Homecoming, because that Tom Holland one saved his ass. It looks like Feige's plan for Multiverse of Madness could be to blow the doors wide open in the MCU to all possible alternate versions of Marvel heroes that we've seen on screen, past and future. They announced Loki showrunner Mike Waldron will rewrite the script for the Doctor Strange sequel, suggesting tie-ins with the alternate timelines of that series. Raimi's direction could suggest that among the alternate universe exploration and Multiverse of Madness could be a visit to the Raimiverse, a cameo by Tobey Maguire. And guys, I'm thinking that Sony is well aware of this secret plan, and the Raimi-era clues in Morbius are evidence of this coordinated effort between the studios to make their back-to-back releases in May 2021 and July 2021 an even more insanely profitable two-punch than Endgame and Far From Home were last year. Look, I know it's a lot to process. I did introduce this multiverse theory in last week's episode of Rogue Theory, and this weekend's episode, A Big Question, will explain everything the Marvel films and comics have told us so far about how the multiverse will work. And for more of my unfiltered thoughts about the behind-the-scenes conspiracies by these Hollywood power players, join us on Discord. That's where the real conversation is happening here at New Rockstars between our staff and the geniuses of our inner circle. To join our Discord, become a patron today at patreon.com/newrockstars. Do you think this Spider-Man clue ties Morbius closer to the MCU or sets it in its own Raimiverse? Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars on social media, and subscribe to New Rockstars here on YouTube for more of our Marvel theories. Thanks for watching. Bye.